Siddiqui. I'm a director within PwC's Finance Transformation Business Unit, and I've been part of the Oracle Fusion implementation for SAPTCO, our client. I've been joined my co-presenters from SAPTCO, and I'd like them to introduce themselves. We have Khalid.
Yes, good morning everyone. I'm Khalid Al-Zahrani. I'm the group CFO of SAPTCO company, and also I am a CEO of one of the BUs within SAPTCO.
Good morning all, thank you for coming. My name is Fathi Mughrabi. I'm the General Manager of IT across SAPTCO, and I'm happy today to present and share with you our success story.
Thank you, Khalid and Fathi. So before we start, can I have a show of hands? How many of you have been to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Wow, we have got a sizable number of audience. So if you've been ever to KSA, you would have noticed the public transport running on the roads of KSA, which is the Saudi Arabian Public Transport Company, which is SAPTCO abbreviated. I let Fathi give an overview of the company and the operating model of the organization.
Okay, thank you. Now to start SAPTCO, as my friend mentioned, it's Saudi Public Transport Company. We are the largest public transport company in the region, and we have different models for transportation that, by the way, since inception we are 45 years old. Okay. Now, since inception, we have transported around 2 billion passengers and average yearly 60 million. And we have a diversity of transport solutions. We do public transportation that has intercity, that has also urban inside certain cities. We take the full transportation inside the city. We have school transportation. We have also on-demand transportation. We have charter. We have also projects that do transport, define the scope for transportation, like NEOM. I'm sure you heard about NEOM. We do the transportation there. We have CAPSAR, we have some compounds, we have universities. Those are closed projects. Now, in addition to this, we have Hajj and Umrah. You know, the pilgrim in Saudi Arabia, the passengers like 2 to 3 million, depends on the size. So we are one of the main major transportation in Hajj and Umrah. Now, we are not only SAPTCO, we are a group of companies under SAPTCO. We have sister companies and subsidiaries. The total employees of the group is around 15,000 employees. Part of them, we have 3,000 employees for the school transportation. We have 8,000 buses. Part of them, we have 3,000 for school transportation. And also we have 10 workshops, maintenance workshops scattered across all Saudi Arabia to serve our fleets.
To summarize, SAPTCO is one of the anchoring organizations as part of the overall KSA Vision 2030. And as the entire kingdom is undergoing a transformation, the organization also has been undergoing a massive transformation. And I'll let probably Khalid explain the context of this transformation in the organization, and then how digitally we are enabling this whole transformation.
We are under a transformation journey. We are focusing more into commercializing all of our activities. We have divided SAPTCO into 3 commercial BUs. One look after the public transportation, one look after special mobility solution, and the third business unit is the technical shared services. Our transformation objective is to focus on accountability, autonomy, business steering, and growth. So this is the main transformation journey objective. This is to be enabled by process, technology, and people. This project is part of a bigger picture of transformation.
Thank you, Khalid. So, as Khalid explained, the organization is going in a massive transformation. Historically, it was a subsidy, concession-based organization. Now, the entire organization is undergoing a transformation towards commercial sustainability, scalability, and growth. In this particular regard, technology is the key enabler, and which is why we are here. Oracle as a key technology enabler. So maybe, Fathi, if you can give a context on how did you embark on this implementation?
Yeah, to start with, we had about 13 years back implemented Oracle EBS. And at that time, it was amazing implementation. It was part of the earlier transformation. But however, SAPTCO has a big growth and restructuring as part of the earlier transformation, where the old implementation of EBS couldn't help us to achieve the accountability and the enablement for the business units. Because earlier it used to be one organization, one big business unit. Now we have 4 business units, as Mr. Khalid. By the way, Mr. Khalid is my boss, and he's the sponsor of the project. Okay, so the transformation divided the company into 4 business units: public transport, specialized mobility, and we have technical shared services, in addition definitely to the corporate. Now, the implementation of EVS structure couldn't help us to achieve the objective of the transformation. So we decided to do re-implementation, because changing the current or the old implementation into the new transformations, like putting a makeup for an old lady, she will not be 15 anymore. But however, we evaluated multiple technologies available in the market. We start with, can I say? No. SAP. We start with Microsoft Dynamics. Where's Microsoft? But we evaluated this with Oracle Fusion and Oracle Fusion 1. So for many reasons, we had a tedious evaluation for the capabilities of Oracle, what they can do for us, and in addition to our requirements. So Oracle Fusion was a perfect match, and we did evaluation with metrics. I mean, it's a long exercise. However, the organization with the management approval, they approved to go for Oracle Fusion re-implementation of our current EBS. Now, I think that's enough maybe for the remaining.
Okay. May I have a show of hands? How many of you are Oracle EBS users? So watch out for the next 10 odd minutes, because from a cloud adoption perspective, there are some interesting learnings which we are going to share in the next few minutes. Maybe Khalid, to you, how did you came upon the selection of the implementation partner without naming the competition?
I think we had a very long preparation period. We have evaluated first, we have diagnosed the problem within SAPTCO. We have selected the technology as Oracle. So we wanted to look for, because one of the key success factors will be the partner who will be working with us. We are looking for the tier 1 companies, and we received around 8 proposals. The proposal that we received from PwC was the most relevant to our need. They had an engagement previously with us, and they understood exactly what is the objective out of the transformation and why we want to implement. So it was the best technical proposal, and I'm not talking about the financial, but we believe that we have selected the right one.
Thank you, Khalid. So just to set the context of the overall implementation, the overall implementation was covering Oracle financials, people financials, supply chain, HCM, payroll, maintenance cloud, which is something as a product maturing, as the Oracle folks know about that. Given that technical vehicle maintenance is one of the key business drivers of SAPTCO's growth. And then we also have a number of integrations with the third-party systems. So all this was successfully implemented within the duration of 9 months. A big thanks to the project sponsorship, the executive leadership, which was continuously engaged throughout the project, our alliance with Oracle technology, that really helped us overcome some of the technology challenges during the phase of the project, and then the global PwC network, which really helped us accelerate the implementation program. Maybe Fathi, I'll go towards you in terms of the value realization.
For the presentation, we'll do it heart to heart.
Some of the values which, as the head of the digital transformation, you feel you've kind of realized from this implementation so far.
Okay, and as you mentioned, Mansoor, we went live recently, and I will not say it was pleasant from day one, because we had a backlog because of the cutoff and data migration, so we had a blackout period like around 10 days or 11 days. Then when he had to enter the backlog, but we were able to clear the backlog and go to the monthly transaction to be current, and we reached the end of the month and we did the closing. The closing also was a challenge, because earlier we used to close 1 GL, but now we are closing 4 GLs, because the architecture of the implementation was to have 4 GLs, as if we have virtually 4 companies. So we did 4 closings, and after that we did the consolidation between them to get a consolidated view that is comparative to the old implementation. And we have the PMR, performance management reporting, for each business unit, in addition to the consolidated one. In addition, there's another level of consolidation. We are doing it with the subsidiaries, so that we have group vision. So it's very complex. There is a big added value, I believe. Now we are in the second month closing. I need just to make a couple of calls within an hour just to follow up how they are doing. I'm not there, but I'm with them, with my heart and my calls. However, we will go for the second month closing, inshallah, very soon. And also we have the people. The transformation is not only about technology and process, but also about people, the adoption. They are starting now to use the system. They are starting to realize, wow, we were doing the process earlier, partially manual. The accuracy of the data, there is some consolidation issues with the main ledger and sub-ledger, integrating with our subsystems, like operational systems. All of them now, they are feeling the value of having this implementation. And I believe once we finish the next phase of the dashboards and the KPIs and the advanced reporting, they will really realize more. We had a small presentation to the CEO just last week before we come here, and we showed him the system. I mean, from the feedback, I know he's happy, okay? But the feedback was just to keep us on our toes. No, the color here is not. No, that's it. So you're happy about everything else? So I did not say this, but I felt that.
This is a frequent user complaint, which typically most of the Oracle users face with. Maybe Khalid, I would like you to add on in terms of from a top management perspective. What do you think the top 3 benefits of this implementation have you realized? Having the context that a few months back, the group CEO attended one of the meetings, and we were kind of having an elevated pitch about the implementation program, the value realized of this program. And then he made a comment that Oracle promised me same thing 12 years back when we were implementing APIs. And I've yet to see those things. So maybe Khalid, if you can share the leadership's perspective on that, how is it going?
With the support of everyone within this project, I think we took the chance to re-evaluate also our processes. So we the processes, and we have changed a lot in terms of processes. And also we took the chance to re-evaluate also the people. So we have put new blood into the organization. So we are taking this project as a whole transformation for SAPTCO. So, and we have automated number of processes, especially in the maintenance. We eliminated some of the steps within the process. So in terms of basics, I think we have covered the basic within this project, but we are yet to realize the benefit of business analytics, AI, and ready for real estate.
Thank you, Khaled. So a couple of key things which I like to highlight, as Fathi and Khaled mentioned on multi-ledger concept. So as you all know, one of the fundamental design decisions while implementing Oracle is the organization structure. And this is where there are two different schools of thought. A, having a single centralized ledger, books of account for the entire organization, even if it's scattered across different BUs, have centralization of the financial accounting and control. Whereas in SAPTCO's case, one of the key drivers of this whole transformation was to give the business units independence, autonomy, and then make them accountable for their own financial reporting and accounting. So this is where a conscious decision was undertaken by the management to go for multi-ledger architecture. And so far, although it creates an additional overhead on period and closing, but I think the ownership which we've been seeing from the different BU CEOs substantiates that this was the right decision. Another key thing which maybe Khaled I'd like you to highlight is the commercial mindset from a technical maintenance perspective, which SAPTCO is looking forward in terms of scalability and growth. How do you see Oracle Maintenance Cloud helping in that particular aspect?
The maintenance was to focus only on internal customer. So we want to enable the maintenance to go for the external customers. So this is one of the main reasons why we have decided to move with Oracle Cloud. We are just now setting up the base, and we want in future to complement this with a CRM in order to help us with dealing with our external customers.
Thank you, Khaled. I'll take a pause here. If there are any questions, please you can raise your hand and ask the question. Otherwise, we can kind of continue into the hindsight learnings. Any questions? Yeah.
What is the footprint of your Oracle EBS? What are the modules you use? And did you go to the Fusion ERP one time or in phases?
So SAPTCO was Oracle EBS R12.2.8, and they have the entire suite of Oracle applications from financials, supply chain, maintenance, HCM, and payroll. And the entire stack, given that the end-to-end business process were integrated in the EBS system, so there was a conscious decision to go big bang in terms of the Fusion financial, supply chain, HCM, payroll, and maintenance implementation, which was a challenge in itself, but we wanted to avoid consciously running two systems in parallel with the overhead of reconciliations, integrations. So although it took us a lot of effort, a lot of extra hours, the bonuses being still to be paid, but we achieved this all in 9 months implementation.
I would just to add one thing to answer the last part of your question. I will say it like this. Usually the carpenter, when he wants to cut the wood, okay, if he cut it wrongly, then what will happen? He need to bring another. So we measure twice and we cut once. So we did all the due diligence, all the preparation, all the technology selection, partner selection, governance on the implementation, and we cut once. We had a big bang approach, and thank God we are live now.
Okay. Yes.
Just to know how many users totally in this environment compared to Fusion.
So in terms of employees, it's around 5,000 employees. For with the 5,000 employees for which the payroll is done, from a user base perspective, it's around 300 users, and this excludes the self-service users, which are more than this. So it's close to around 1,000 employees that are using self-service.
By the way, as I mentioned, now we are doing the implementation all only for the mother company SAPTCO. We have many companies, subsidiaries and sister companies. We will do rollout after we, go through the adaptation, stabilization, and the use to excel in usage. Then we will start selling the idea to our sister companies and subsidiaries, and then we might reach like 15,000 employees, and the number of users will be much more than that. So you can consider this like phase one, and phase two will start it very soon, I think within a couple of months after we stabilize and we realize the value for SAPTCO, which we are measuring this value to achieve the objective that we promised the management earlier when we prepared the RFP and they approved the budget. So we will come back with KPIs to measure what we have achieved for the organization.
So I have a question regarding implementation. Was it a fresh implementation or the historical data migration? If it was a fresh implementation, then what was the strategy of data, the historical data? Does it reside on the EBS, or you have transferred some of the balances to the Oracle PM?
I guess you're from IT. It's a favorite IT question. Historical legacy data balance migration. So initially, the ask was to migrate the entire historical data, given the maintenance history, the employee history, and performance appraisals. But we had the leadership alignment in the sense that we want to take it step by step. The balance migration happened as on the cutoff date of the go live. And then from a legacy historical balance migration, we opted for three main items. One was the 3-year comparative trial balance as per the new chart of accounts. The other was the employee performance appraisal history for last 3 years. And then the last thing which we agreed on from a legacy balance migration was the maintenance history of vehicles, because that's very important from a predictive analytics perspective. Conscious of time.
I'd like to add just one more. It's very critical. I would like to share this with you all, ladies and gentlemen. The data is the name of the game. If the data is not accurate, not cleansed, even if you have the best PwC and the best Oracle with us, we will fail. So we had an initiative that Mr. Khalid initiated to do data cleansing 3 or 4 months before the implementation. So we revised all our master data, and we complemented what's missing, and we fixed the things that need to be fixed. We reached like an accuracy 90 to 95%. This is before the implementation. So when we mentioned the cutoff date, it was piece of cake because we are not doing cleansing. And by the way, we did the cleansing and the fixing in EBS. So when we extract again, we extract fresh data. It looks like very easy when we extract it, but we had a big effort behind it. Sorry.
Thank you, Fathi. Khalid, quickly, from a leadership perspective, if you have to redo another implementation of Fusion, what are the top 2 learnings which you've got from this work?
I think first thing is the preparation. So we took a long time in preparation, also writing the RFP, deciding on the technology, then selecting a right partner. Right partner who understands your business, also flexible enough to move, depends on the situation that you are facing, and also the people. So people, not the partner resources, within the organization. So we had to inject a new blood to the organization. The one more important thing is the change management. and the sponsorship from the top. So we have to engage with all stakeholders. We have identified the key people within the organization, and they own the project with us, and we are always in an engagement with the sponsors of every release.
Thank you, Khalid. And change management, it's become a word which typically is more abused, I would say, in the context of technology implementations, but the real change starts from the top. And this is where one of the success factors of the implementation at SAPTCO was right from the top, from the CEO to the CFO and the other BU The involvement was there early, regularly, and continuously. So even so that we even had daily steer goals at one stage in time of the implementation, because that's what was the requirement at that point in time. We leveraged a strong network of change ambassadors to cascade the team, because with technology there were a lot of concerns which typically employees share in terms of their job security, role redundancy, and the clarity of the new roles after the implementation. So this is where I think IT also played a very important role, and Fathi, maybe I'd like you to touch upon this.
Yes, very quickly. I mean, I think my boss Khalid tapped into this and Mansoor, but I would like to add just another dimension to what we have done. The sponsorship, by the way, for me, it's the highest priority and the big added value that I received from Mr. Khalid and the CEO and the top management.
Perfect. So, in hindsight, key learnings were stakeholder engagement, continuous early involvement, change management, as Mr. Khalid said, and data, which, as in KSA, we say is the new oil of this era. And a couple of last comments is the agility in execution is something which really helped us come so far in this implementation, because at certain times where we face certain technology constraints or it was even expensive, we had some business requirements which were not enabled through the system, for which we had to find a workaround. And this is where the leadership really played a key role in terms of having shown the agility to execute the implementation. I think we are on time. If there are any more questions, I will take them after the session. And thank you all for joining us. Thanks a lot.